Guys, it's Jacob from StringBuzz here, stringbuzzworld.org being the music journalism site, links are in the description down below, and we have a brand new song review for you today, and it's the latest track by Tom Rosenthal, or Rosenthal, however you pronounce his name, and it's Outerspace Mover, so I'm going to refer to the original article as I usually do for these videos, so I hope you enjoy. So after adoring Tom Rosenthal's last few efforts, I went into this track actually pretty darn excited. His track To You Alone was one of my favourite ballads from last year, and it continues to be one of my go-to listens even this year when I'm feeling like a little bit blue or something like that. He's like Bon Iver meets Frank Turner. He's subtle and thought-provoking whilst also having this playfulness about him that makes each listen really enjoyable. So shall we see what I thought of this brand new track? Well, I must admit I'm a little bit disappointed, and although I don't dislike this track, I just felt it was a little too silly for me. I love little quirky tracks and off-kilter instrumentals and playful lyrics, but this felt like a children's song to me. Sure, it's got little catchy sequences, strange timbres, and a decent vocal performance to match, but it's so poorly put together, and I just got the feeling that it was rushed and thrown together almost purposely. In case you don't already know, I don't really like that approach. I understand dissonance and I understand bending boundaries to make, or rather create, quirkier tracks, but when you're making something sound bad for the heck of really sounding bad just to be different, I just find that more attention-seeking rather than enjoyable. When it comes to the production of this track, I must say it was pretty darn horrible. Everything is off the metronome and out of time, which was probably purposefully done again, but it just doesn't sound good. The vocals sound fine and actually fairly pure. I'm glad they're not too tampered with, but they are lacking a little diction for me from time to time, but then that might be down to the performance rather than actually the mixing here. This little synth beat slash progression possessed a unique and different timbre that is both percussive as well as being tonal. As I've already mentioned, I can't decide whether it's a beat or whether it's a progression, but it kept echoing out of time, which again, I doubt that it's not purposeful, but it just doesn't sound very good to me. I hate to sound like a square here, but it's just trying too hard, and I prefer my tunes to be at least somewhat concentrated and just a little bit more precise. Musicality-wise, I thought the simplistic progressions were fun and catchy. I thought the vocal melodies and performance was also great from Tom himself. I liked the flow of the track and its atmosphere and what it created, but it just didn't contain too much content for me. We got a couple of verses of the same thing, a couple of choruses of the same thing, only 2 or 3 instruments, and not a great deal of development or variation. The song is only around 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, so I can kind of understand that. The dynamics are also pretty identical all the way through the track, and I guess I just felt that I wasn't the target audience for this particular track. Now, Tom is used to making fairly mature tracks actually that are musically complex and also obtain like an obscurity about them, but this obscurity is for the heck of just being obscure rather than in any way musical for me. When all you do is use a synth stab and a guitar, and all you do, or rather all you let them do, is play 1 or 2 notes, the same 1 or 2 notes over and over again, then it does get a little bit boring and it does get a little bit childlike. Lyrically, the track is really quite fun and quirky and yet again quite different. Although they don't have too much meaning behind them, I must admit I found them pleasant and quite enjoyable. I will say the lyrics were probably my favourite part about this song, so all in all, a really difficult track to review despite its simplicity. I don't know the goal behind the track or the target audience, but I feel this song is more polarising than fans might let you think. I'm not too knowledgeable on his prior discography outside of his bigger tracks, but I just felt that this is aiming towards a target audience, which I'm definitely not a part of, when tracks in the past have been not really along these lines at all. So I gave it a G rating of 5 out of 10, which is just average really. So if you like this video, then please leave a like, subscribe to see more, and I'll see you around next time. Bye-bye.